So the last movement of our three opening movements of the first third of the Credo, which we've looked at today, is this beautiful duet, et in unum Dominum Jesum Christum. He's set relatively little text in the first movements, and then he gets through rather a lot more text in this movement. It's a wonderful contrast from the previous movement. The Pater Omnipotentem has ended with this blaze of glory, with the trumpets going right up to top concert top D. And then we've also got our rhythm, this time in the trumpets that we've had earlier in the timps, which kind of almost heralds the end of that movement. So something completely different for this duet. And we've talked about the voices being used instrumentally. Here, exactly the same music is given to the instrumentalists at the beginning and the voices when they come in bar 9. So you've got a rather lovely texture, the oboe d'amore again. There's a little, Sylvia gave me some more information on oboe d'amores last week, which I've included for you below so you can understand more about them. There's this lovely texture with the oboes used with the strings at the beginning, and then the oboes drop out when the voices come in for a few bars. So they've got this idea. There's this feeling of walking very close together. The parts coming in. This idea. That's the sort of musical idea, and he introduces the second part immediately after it comes. So you've got this idea of those two voices interweaving, working very close together. They're not taking it in turns to sing the music. They're intermingled like branches of a tree or something like that, where you feel like it's growing and evolving almost as the music unfolds. And Baroque music really does unfold. You get presented with these ideas, and then they're worked in a myriad of different ways. The same ideas, just by a slight change of direction, you can take you to a new key, or just the two voices work in so many different ways. There's use again of the parts a third apart. So if you look at bar 14, then we've got this part of this bar in thirds. Again, this feeling of walking together, and I don't know if this is the idea of walking with God, but it's the whole thing gives a very kind of comforting feeling for me. It's this idea of this duet, and you feel like it's two voices but speaking as one idea. And again, maybe this harks back a little bit to the idea that we were talking earlier before about Bach's idea of the Trinity and how he this sort of presentation of God the Father and the Son as one idea. I don't know. So this is a very, very beautiful movement. One other thing I'd love to point out to you before you hear it is the way that it's relatively, the keys in which he goes through are relatively straightforward, mostly G major and D major, occasionally a bit of B minor, but generally kind of conventional keys, but just before the end. And he does this is quite a trick that he does, and there are various examples of it. He suddenly takes a rather abrupt turn to a key, to E flat major, which is the kind of flattened, the sixth note of the scale. So quite an unexpected key. It's really, what he's doing is preparing this progression at the end. Instead of and to finish, he's then adding this idea, this chord, before the final. But the way it comes so suddenly in bar 69, is really fun, and suddenly unexpected. So you've been going along. And then it returns to G major, and you kind of think, did that really happen? Or was I imagining it? But then he goes back to that related area, E flat C minor. And then finishes as if nothing has happened. It's a lovely little twist. And again, he's just ever the master of structure. He's just signaling that the end of music is the end of the piece is coming, and giving you a preparation so that you understand the structure of the music. So I hope you've enjoyed this set of movements this week. It's given you quite a workout to sing. So I think you've probably earned yourselves a glass of wine. See you next time.